Welcome to Horrors Yet Unseen, the podcast where we assign each other horror movies to watch and then talk about it so our spouses don't have to listen to us go on and on and on about scary stuff they don't like. I'm Zach.
And I'm Steve. Let's talk about some scary movies. By the way, there will absolutely be spoilers in this show. You have been warned.
Yeah, no, it just came on. No. This was like 3 weeks ago.
No. You watch more half of things than anybody I've ever met in my life. I'm like, how do you do that?
Okay. I have a short attention span. I may have undiagnosed
Clearly.
ADHD.
You think?
It's more like ADDD. Attention deficit depression disorder. It's just, I'm like,
I think most people with ADHD have depression anyway. It's just kind of part of the deal.
Well, then there you go.
Because you feel like you've screwed everything up and you can't finish anything. And
yeah, well, I don't feel like that. That sounds.
maybe you should. I mean, give it a
I
shot.
do have a problem finishing stuff. The problem is that I get on the couch and I'll sit there for a half a freaking day, and then I'll feel like, I'll just feel bad. I'll just feel depressed, or I'll completely come home and like on the weekend crash.
Yep.
See,
and if you're feeling depressed from sitting around, that's the puritanical work ethic that you need to shed. So it's not good for you.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, unless you want to be a Puritan,
Well,
hang out with
the
Vivitch.
If the Vivitch, yeah. I mean, I do want to live deliciously, but at what cost?
I mean, how delicious are we talking? Like
Deliciously
delicious?
Deliciously
How
delicious.
deliciously?
Magically delicious.
Like living in a creme brulee, or are we talking like a
Dude.
bowl of like good pasta, or are we talking like a yummy salad?
All of it. Can I have all of it? That's delicious. That sounds amazing.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, and all of that.
All that. Yeah.
Mainly because I'm intermittent fasting and I'm hungry all the time.
Well, stop thinking about it.
I can't. That's impossible.
Just do it. Stop thinking about it.
I did find an interview with the director of Longlegs that I wanted to play on here.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was great. When we talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I should open up my notes. We should dive on in. That sounded weird and creepy, but it's a Longlegs, so everything's fine.
Let's dive on in, Betty. Let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah, it's just as creepy as we possibly can make it. Did you end up watching both of those documentaries, those YouTube documentaries that you sent to me, or that you put in the notes?
I forgot about the second one. I've seen the first one.
Yeah,
I'll just mention the first one, and I can mention it. It's good. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just kind of like the starting of the initial, like where slashers came from, and like the effect of them, and the I thought what was really interesting was the what's the word, the societal reaction to slashers and movies, the horror movies in the 80s was surprisingly, for the 80s, surprisingly feminist backlash from dudes. Seems like, of course, maybe it's just the dudes who are reviewing movies. Anyway, they're like, we don't want, these are horrible movies. They make women always like the victim, and it just shows how women are weak, and that portrays women as weak. I mean, and they're always getting killed, and it's always some angry man who's the bad guy, and which there's some validity to some of those things. I should say some factuality to some of those things. It's always a bad guy killing a bunch of women. There's always one woman who survives at the end, the final girl thing. But
yeah,
and so it was kind of the, I don't know, that was, and it also there's like the huge satanic panic around the same time. of there's Satanists everywhere, and this is just Satanists, doing the same thing to us, and I don't know. So yeah, it was he also went into the just more of the background of how horror like kind of came into its own in a different way, and how popular how popular certain ones were, like Freddy and Michael and Jason. Basically, those three were like the big deal, and how those morphed. And over time, Freddy got goofier and more slapsticky.
Yeah.
And and he talked about like where is it going from there. And the second video that I haven't watched all of, I watched like 5 minutes of it. It's kind of getting into the revival of the slasher in the 90s, because it kind of played itself out during the 80s, like the late 70s and 80s. And then the revival of the slasher with Scream was like the big one that kind of kicked. It's not just slashers, but horror in general, because horror kind of had become kind of like seen as lowbrow and kind of I don't know, just like gross, But with that one, it kind of made it more mainstream, and so he in his mind he gives a lot of credit to Scream for reinvigorating the horror genre in general. So yeah, it's good.
I'm definitely gonna have to finish those.
Yeah,
something kind of rubbed me the wrong way about the fact that this guy on YouTube just took a bunch of behind the scenes documentaries about all of those slashers and basically just cut them together.
In this video?
Yeah, in those videos.
Oh yeah. He wove a story with someone else's threads.
Yeah, granted, like that kind of content taking happens all the time. It's happened forever. Like on my TikTok, every third TikTok that I see is somebody taking a clip from somebody else's podcast and like splicing it right next to, somebody rolling a colorful jug of water down some stairs, or whatever, like some other, cutting soap into tiny little cubes and some other thing. Like, but it's the other video is taken from somebody else's podcast or a clip from whatever, a clip from a movie.
Yeah.
And so it felt very much the same way.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy learning about, from the director and the producers and the writers and all that kind of stuff about these other movies.
Yeah. That's kind of how media is today. Everything's a remix.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good series of videos called Everything is a Remix that talk about how everything is it's borrowed from someplace or adding on to something else, or he goes through all these movies that have basically the same storyline, getting all the way back to Joseph Campbell's idea of the hero's journey and things like that. How perfectly like Star Wars follows that, and Harry Potter follows that, and all of this, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so it's all remixed, dude.
It's all
There's no new ideas,
right? Well, speaking of completely new ideas, we should talk about The Boys finale. Did you see that?
I did. There were quite a fewer pubes, which was good.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say fewer pubes.
Okay, there were a lot. There were
a lot more pubes. That the last time we saw that jar, it was only half full.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
Now it was completely full. I'm also not entirely sure that it was full pubic hair. It was just gray hair in general, which does lessen it to some degree. But
takes a curse off it.
That's one question that I do have for like the producers, for like if I'm interviewing.
Yep.
Right. I want to know. We got Anthony Starr on here. His name is Anthony Starr, isn't it? What's his name? What's Homelander's name?
Anthony something.
Anthony?
Yeah.
What the heck is his name? Why are we sitting in front of our computers and I Google? Okay.
Anthony Starr.
Anthony. I
With
thought it was
two
Anthony.
R's at the end.
2 R's. Yeah. Like, I'm like,
I
hey,
mean,
dude.
you could call him Anthony, but he'll laser your nuts off.
Well, I don't like that, but I guess.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
That's the second time that you've said that, and you're the one telling me the rules, and I don't understand how you're not making.
I
this
didn't
up
make
right
them.
now.
I'm just like, telling you what it is.
Okay, well, anyway, that's a question I would have. Okay, let's just move past it. That's a question I would have. What was in that jar specifically?
Here's the question I have for you. Why do you care?
Because
Do you
nobody
want to,
else
emulate
does.
that?
No, stop. Nobody else. Stop, dude. Gross. Nobody else is going to ask that question. They're going to ask serious questions. Somebody's got to come in with the real hard-hitting journalistic stuff here.
Oh, that's hard.
Okay?
Okay, we need to talk about what your dictionary that you have in your brain, it needs to be thrown out. Because hard-hitting journalism.
I'm not going to... Listen, if you want to come over here and freaking lobotomize me like freaking Sage, I don't have time for any of that nonsense.
No, thank you. I mean, yes, and...
I mean, you can also bring... if you're bringing over Outback Steakhouse, I'm down with
better
it.
places than Outback.
Come on. What are you talking
about,
dude?
Here in town called Whiskey Steaks.
Listen.
It's called The Still. They marinate their steaks in whiskey. And then cook them. Oh, dude. You have no freaking idea. No idea.
Yeah, you're right. Because I've had better steaks at Outback Steakhouse. This podcast is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. How dare you, Steve?
If it's a chain, it's lame.
Dude, whatever. Oh my gosh. Say that the next time you go to Burger King.
See, I don't do that. I go to local.
You don't go to Burger King?
No. I go to Al's Burgers here in town.
What kind of freaking hipster town do you live in that you don't go to Burger King?
The most hipster town.
Did you guys invent hipsterness?
Oh, just about. I mean, we're like the second ranked hipster town after Boulder, probably. I'm just making that up, but
yeah, that's because hipsters from Boulder moved to.
No, Boulder thinks that Fort Collins is kind of cute because we're not as hipster and granola as they are.
Listen, I'd like to see them have chicken fights down there.
See, they'd have
free range organic chicken.
Free range organic chicken. And the chickens would have to be to sign a consent form first before they participated.
Whatever, dude. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I have thoughts about The Boys finale, and I want to talk about them.
Do tell.
Okay, first,
it was a downer.
It kind of was a bummer of an episode. I mean that for me, I mean that in the sense it was. I don't know. It was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I didn't. What do you mean by bummer of an episode?
It was sad. Like internally, the storyline was sad.
Yeah,
and it was a bummer. After we watched it, Christy's like, "I need to watch something happy now."
I know. What do you think about Kimiko talking?
That was cool.
You thought it was cool?
That she's finally. Yeah, I think it just showed how much she loved that dude, Frenchie. Because, she said, all she said was no, and I don't know if she's going to be able to go past that, but I mean, it's almost the last season, right?
Right. Second to last season.
Right. And so it was the last episode of the season before the end and so to me, like the last season is going to be the ultimate finale. So I wasn't surprised that this one didn't have a big finale and it didn't have a big finale feel, Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
part of me was
you didn't
not
like
a huge
the fact
fan.
that she talked?
Part of me was not a huge fan of the fact that she talked. And the reason is because it's been for 4 seasons now, it has been part of her identity that she does not talk. Mm-hmm. And I was not fully surprised though, because they made it a big deal. Like they made her not talking and the backstory of her not talking a big deal. So when she actually did, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes kind of complete sense that she went through a traumatic thing that caused her to not talk. She's currently going through a traumatic thing because now she finally expresses her love for Frenchie. Let's be together, which I have qualms about that, but they made it this thing. She's going through this traumatic thing. He literally got the whisper in his ear. He's now walking off because he's mind controlled, and there's nothing that she can do about it. But
I thought it showed growth in her character because
it does. That's why I was not fully upset about it,
because she's overcoming, like, Frenchie is becoming more important to her than what she did before, and she's like she's growing and changing, and
right. That's why I wasn't fully disappointed in it, because, like, you have to show that growth. Anyway, Newman's death was a bit of a shock to me, even though I think that her daughter should have died because she's a total B. Her daughter should have died. Newman should not have
she's
died.
A kid.
I don't care. I don't care. Zero caring. She's a fictitious kid in a fictitious show. Well, I don't care about the sanctity of life in fictitious shows.
Then why do you care if Newman dies?
Don't point out flaws in my logic on our podcast.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're completely right. You're completely right.
Also, I didn't think about that until then. I just have these hard stances that I take, and I don't think about them.
I'm here to ruin your day.
I know. Yeah. So what did you think about Newman dying?
I thought it was cool how she was ripped apart.
See, there it is right there. I love the fact you're like, oh, she's a kid. She shouldn't die. And then you're like, I love the fact that Butcher's tentacles ripped her torso apart. Like, what the heck? Oh
that whole scene, I kept thinking, is that actually Butcher? How did he get there so fast? And I thought, is this like another shapeshifter pretending to be him or what? And then it took me a while to realize it, because I didn't feel like they had that transition right. But that's a piddly thing. But so she has blown up many people's heads just because she's a horrible person.
Well, I don't know that she's horrible.
But her daughter hasn't blown. Her daughter's like trying to protect herself with her snake head.
It doesn't matter. The vibe that Newman was giving when she...
Do not get me in a room when you are on the jury and I'm on the stand. You're vicious.
Fire him on the grill. Fire him. Turn up the heat. Yeah. So yeah, it's because of the vibe. The vibe when they walked in the room. Newman is this completely beat person. And sure, she did some bad things, but hey, haven't we all proverbially blown up heads in our minds? Come on. If you mean to tell me that if you... Huh?
She did it.
Listen, it's called second chances, Steve. Look it up, gosh. But her daughter came in and she had this like freaking Mean Girls mug on her face. And I was like, that hoe needs to die.
Wow.
And listen, don't make me feel bad because I want a child in a television show to die. You're the one who's giving me movies to watch, and they're freaking turning babies into guacamole. I don't want to hear it, Steve.
Well, just one video. I wasn't happy about it, though.
Oh, okay. That makes it completely better. Anyway. You were completely right. Bad Butcher was bound to happen.
Yep. He went kind of bad faster than I thought. I thought he would be. I didn't know he was going to get so, like people tear you party. And apparently he can control his like inner snakes.
Well, it's because of freaking Negan that he can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Really? That was it. That he had that dichotomy within him. He had what's her face? His wife.
Right. Oh, that's right. He was seeing both of them.
He was seeing both of them, but then he also had Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and both of them were what he wanted, and he tried to go that one route where it protect Ryan, all of that stuff, but that didn't happen, and I think that mainly didn't happen because of whatever that other white lady's name is. I don't know the names of people on shows. What's that lady's name? The old lady who got her neck snapped?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she pressed that luck. She revealed too much to Ryan too fast, and so I think the Butcher kind of had no other recourse but to go that route. But honestly,
So he
sometimes
decided
you
to go
kind of
full
need,
Zach.
huh?
He decided to go full Zach and
Dude,
kill
of
people.
course. Listen, anytime you go full Zach, it's just a bad day for everybody. I kind of expected Firecracker to die because of the medication that she was taking.
Yeah, me too. What was the deal with her being sick? I thought
So
they were going to go somewhere with that.
They didn't, and that was what was crazy to me, is because in that last scene, or the second to last scene, they're in the room. She's very sick, dark circles around her eyes.
Yeah.
She's very sick, and she says it's because of the medication I'm taking.
Right,
And
she
then
said that, but people say that all the time.
Homelander moved her down like 2 chairs, like down to the end of the table. And then she was chasing people down the hall, and she was sick. But then the next time we saw her after the president-elect got, like, Newman died, the president-elect got taken into custody. The next time we saw her on her Alex Jones-esque show, she was perfectly fine.
Right.
So I'm like, why make her sick, but then and then not explain it? It's also a finale, so I don't expect them to actually flesh any of that stuff out. They're just throwing stuff.
I kind of was wondering if the fact that she's like the milk provider for Homelander now,
well,
that she was her being sick, like maybe she got like some of the virus somehow somewhere, and like maybe the fact that it was going through her breast milk or something was gonna like infect him somehow in a weird way. I don't know.
Right.
I thought that's where they're going to be going with that, to like weaken him enough. Because you think he's going to get killed at the end?
Homelander?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the things that I've written down. I wrote, doesn't Homelander have impenetrable skin? How are they going to stick him with that needle? And because Butcher went up to Frenchie, who had the gun, that dart gun, and basically took it from him.
Right.
And I don't know whether he took the gun to shoot Homelander with, or whether he just took the gun because it had the virus in it. We'll see how all of that plays out. But I'm almost positive that Homelander has impenetrable skin, which, because he is a Superman-esque character, and my memory could be a little fuzzy with that, but
I think he does.
The only way that he could do that is by ingesting it. So my guess is that Firecracker may come into play in season 5. They inject her, give him her milk, and boom. But yes, I actually expect both. I expect both, especially with the revelation that Homelander's dad now still is alive.
Right.
I think that Butcher's going to die, Homelander's going to die, and we're going to basically just reset back to that like original 7 kind of vibe.
So like they're going to maybe infect Firecracker with it?
They
could get around the whole impenetrable skin thing by get that dude who like gets tiny and he just go up Homelander's penis, drop the stuff off, maybe explode out of him. How'd that work? If you got a guy who's impenetrable skin and you're inside of him and you get big, would you like? This is hard hitting journalism stuff that needs to be talked about right here. Okay. If you enter through his penis as a micro person, could it hurt him? Would he feel it? Would he know? Should I stop talking?
I don't ever want you to stop talking about this. I just wanted to be quiet and just let it go on for as long as it needed to go on. That's really it. Okay? Just wanted to let you get it out of your system. Because
I feel better. Thank you.
I went the translucent route, despite the fact that Homelander is significantly smarter than translucent. But Yeah, I mean, that's the only real way to fully kill him, it seems like. You can't make a virus that is strong enough to kill him. You can maybe be able to make a virus that's strong enough to weaken him, and then, because I don't think that he has like super immunity, but then you kill him. I definitely think that his dad is gonna have something big. What was his dad's name? Captain America? What was his name? Fake Captain America?
Captain
Steve Rogers, maybe?
Johnny Boy. Something Boy.
I love that America Boy. Yeah. Boy America.
Homelander's dad.
Patriot Boy.
Patriot. Boy Patriot. Boy,
Patriot Man.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. We get there. It's a rapper.
It's like
rapper's name.
Like the song or the dance. The crank.
Yo,
that Soldier Boy.
Exactly. It's that. Yeah.
With like the leg that does the kicky thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm super surprised that Homelander has not killed fake Black Noir yet.
I am too.
Because he does not shut up.
He doesn't shut up.
And Homelander this season seems so annoyed with everyone.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, including other superheroes, are beneath him. So the fact that he has this fake Black Noir on the team and has not just fully lasered him in the head and been like, "We're done with you, dude," is crazy to me. Also, how has Homelander not killed more people? Have you noticed that?
Well, he's killed a lot.
Okay, yes.
This season.
That's why I said more people. Is because he has this. He told his son. What the heck was his son's name? I just said it a while ago. Ryan. He told Ryan that people are basically just like pawns to be used. That people are less than us and whatnot.
Right.
Dude, why are you working with the president? Laser everyone and become the president. Just take over. You are a god. Just take. You have superhuman strength. You have laser eyes. You have impenetrable skin. You have super strength. You can fly. Just take over. Brightburn this whole situation.
Do you know what his fatal flaw is, though? The
one he needs people. He needs to be loved.
Right. He needs to be loved. And so if you laser everybody out in front of everyone, then you're not going to be as loved. You can do that once in a while. But if he's got to have people that love him. You know, it's not just if he kills them all, there's nobody to rule. But if he kills them all and does it like I'm an evil man killing them all, then people are not going to be as loving.
See, that's why you're on this podcast, Steve, because I didn't even think about that.
Wants to be loved. See, it's like that the Peter Gabriel song, I Love to Be Loved.
I don't know that I've ever heard a Peter Gabriel song, okay?
I love to be loved.
Have you ever heard like Sledgehammer?
Okay, Sledgehammer's Peter Gabriel. Okay, yeah.
Okay, then come on.
Back off, dude. It's freaking Peter Gabriel.
I Love to Be Loved. That album is so good.
Come on. Lady, kiss that frog.
Oh my gosh, you're such an old man about it.
Because it's an album?
No, because you're talking about Peter Gabriel, man. Who are you?
Hey.
Come at me, bro. Freaking make new music then. Okay, make better music.
It's time you come too far.
Oh boy.
That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Shut your mouth. I know what you are.
I think we've probably talked about it enough. I'm kind of glad the season 4 is over.
Yeah.
Political fatigue
still too short, my man.
Is real. Yeah, of course. But political fatigue is very real. I'm done.
That's true. I got enough of it in real life.
It's enough of it in real life. And also I'm very disappointed I texted you this. I'm very disappointed that they made that like warning at the very beginning of episode.
I didn't get that.
It didn't make any sense to me because I thought
I didn't see it.
Oh, when
I played it,
I saw it on like Twitter or like TikTok, whatever. because everyone wants to talk about it. And so I saw that somebody posted something about like, hey, they posted or they did this. They had this warning. So when I watched it, I saw the warning, and that's when I like took a screenshot of it and sent it to you, because I was under the impression, because they were kind of setting up something for quote unquote January 6th.
Oh yeah.
I was under the impression that they were going to show a January 6th type event.
Oh, I see.
So that's why I texted you. I'm like, dude, but then they didn't do that.
Right.
There was no real there was more political violence in every freaking other episode except for that one.
I think that they did that because of here it is. There it is. Yeah. This episode contains scenes of fictional political violence. Any similarities to recent events are completely coincidental and unintentional.
Also, no, they're not.
Well,
you're pulling from real life, you freaking ding-dongs.
I think that they put that there though because of the Trump attempt. Because it was all about people trying to kill the president, right? That's why they had him under the bunker and everything. I think that they probably last minute threw that up there to say, "Hey, we're not like saying you should like try to kill the president," hand wavy. That's my guess. If Trump hadn't been, somebody hadn't tried to kill Trump, shoot his ear off, whatever. Then okay. I don't think you'd have this anymore.
Yeah. Okay. That may make sense. I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the connection but I'm also not trying to plan an assassination. We
are not trying to plan an assassination.
Not like that. I'm actually not. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to watch. I said it. No, you said it in a weird way, like you were like freaking trying to be incriminating, and you're trying to get me in trouble, and I don't like that. But. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say what we planned to say. So
yeah. Oh, see, you're doing it, dude. I can't handle it. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes my little tum tum hurt. I don't like it. Yeah. So, but I'm also just trying to watch a show, and I'm trying to get through all of the political jargon and crap, and try to count the number of pubic hairs in that freaking jar. Like, don't scoff at me about it. Oh my gosh.
So gross.
Okay.
No, I'm not scoffing at you. I'm scoffing at the pubic hairs in general. Well, it's still so gross.
It is gross.
Yeah.
But that was the most intriguing part of season 4. To me.
You do you, buddy.
I am. I'm gonna do it. Don't shame me for wanting to try to figure it out. I'm just trying to understand Homelander a little bit better. Also, it does make me want to read the comic or the graphic novel or whatever they're called now.
Yeah.
To try to figure out what the ending is likely going to be, but part of me doesn't want to do that, to try to just be kept in the dark.
Yeah, it may or may not follow too. I don't know.
It's followed kind of to some degree. I think it's 50-50 at this point.
Really?
They've taken some creative liberties, but there are other. It's source material, so they're going to pull from it to some degree. Yeah. Any hoodles. We should talk about Longlegs before we talk about our movies.
Bum bum bum.
Shout out to our buddy Brad, I'm going to send this to. I just want to give Brad a shout out.
Shout out for what?
Shout out to our buddy Brad.
Just for fun? No. What do you do?
Okay. Don't. So aggressive.
Love you, Brad.
Gosh, dude, it's so aggressive about it. No, Brad sent me a text message and said, have you and Steve seen Longlegs yet? And I said, Steve has, but I haven't. This was last week. And he told me that he went with a buddy that he works with, and they went to see Longlegs. And he was very interested in hearing our thoughts about it.
Oh, okay.
So,
so we have to do this because of Brad.
Well, no, it's because...
Is he being a patron?
This was the scariest movie of the last 10 years, buddy. And we have to talk about the scariest movie of the last 10 years. It's like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity here to talk about the scariest movie in the last 10 years. despite the fact that Creep and Creep 2 came out in the last 10 years, and that didn't clearly make the list, and I'm feeling a little salty about it. Because friggin' Tubby Time is in my head more than Cuckoo.
More than pubes?
I don't have a comment about that. I don't have any comment about that.
Well, it's the scariest movie until they come out with extra long legs.
Okay. All right.
Or the prequel, Medium Legs.
Okay.
Or Short Legs, the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a prequel called Short Legs. Okay, well. Just ant legs and you're okay, well. I don't know. That's good. Okay. We do need a prequel. I would love that.
That would be great.
Yeah. How Longlegs got and we need to be what all right, let's go down that rabbit hole. What are some more names for the prequel of Longlegs? I'm gonna put that up on our Instagram as
or like this or like for way into the future, like crutches. just crutches. Or
yeah, arthritis. You just
one and a half legs. The war years.
Yeah, 1.5 legs. He got amputated, like he got diabetes, and he's from the knee down. He just 1.5 legs. Is that offensive? I'm so sorry.
I wasn't even thinking diabetic. I was thinking of the war. You know?
Oh no!
Get your leg off blown up in a war.
He ate too many Skittles, man. Like,
he's done
he
doing satanic stuff.
Diabetes.
He's sitting on the couch eating Skittles and potato chips.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about. But I'm not trying to make fun of people with diabetes. I'm just trying to come up with fun names. Anyway, okay, well. Also, I may or may not have had too much beer at this point, and so
yeah, so you're fine. You're fine.
I do want to have another one. These are so good.
Well, there's hardly any beer in them, so you're good.
I know, that's my point, is that I don't really drink very often, but when I do, Dos Equis. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you watched Longlegs.
Yes.
Twice. Are you mentally okay?
I'm mentally functioning.
Oh, that's not what I asked. Are you okay? Because you watched this movie twice. The scariest movie of the decade.
Scariest movie of the decade twice. I know.
Twice.
What is my problem?
Yeah, are you okay?
I think I'm doing okay. I
watched that poster board in the background with all the knitting and yarn work does not.
Look, I'm just trying to figure some stuff out. Okay.
Are you coming up with is that your own alphabet in the background?
I think she didn't decode the stuff the right way. I mean, so I got to figure this out the right way. There's secret messages that we're missing.
I don't. Okay. I mean, do you, man? If I can try to count the number of pubic hairs in that jar, you can also come up with your own Unabomber type stuff. Too soon? Okay.
Wow.
Listen,
you're full on Unabomber, didn't you?
Listen. Again, I've had some alcohol.
So I saw it the first time with a friend, and then the second time nobody in my family wanted to go. I decided to go again because I had another ticket. Okay. And it was really cool because I liked it because the second time I was at this indie theater here in town, and a lot fewer people were in it in the theater. So it was the first time was with a bunch of people, but the second time I could kind of, I don't know, knowing what's coming is really helpful for kind of noticing little things here and there, or themes that maybe you didn't see before, that kind of thing. So that was pretty cool. Let me see what else. I still need to figure out what, there's a couple, a quote or two at the beginning of the movie that I need to watch it at home so I can pause this stuff and write it down or take a screenshot of it or something to know what all these quotes mean. And then apparently there's also, I haven't really have you dug into the online stuff much?
I watched a video this morning that blew my freaking mind. Yeah.
Oh, about the online stuff?
Yep.
Or
yep.
because I guess there's lots of lore and stuff, right?
Yeah, there was the video. The video was talking about how they really dove into the the satanic aspect of like just culture in general, and all of there's some music that's played backwards. There are some messages that are played backwards.
Huh.
There's a lot of little layers within the score even to really dive into, and I'm actually excited when it comes to digital, when it comes to streaming, to be able to dissect that a little bit more.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the direction that you were specifically going,
Yeah,
but
I mean, sure.
there is a lot more to this movie than just apparently just watching. It's kind of like with Late Night with the Devil, counting the number of aberrations in the background.
Right.
Because his wife shows up so often in that movie, like in the background of scenes or in flashes, and
oh yeah,
that
like
on an initial viewing, you don't really pick it up if you're not really paying attention to that. And so, this is a deeper layered movie. So having a community of people to kind of help explore all of that stuff is good. You had mentioned to me that there were things that you maybe could have caught or appreciated a little bit more the second time viewing. What?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some specifics. Just, I mean, it's just knowing what's coming. You can see like at the very very beginning of the whole movie, or like knowing that it's Harker or Lee Harker at the very very beginning, because it's not clear when you're just watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like at the end, you realize it's her, and you can kind of think back to it. But knowing that that's her to begin with, is interesting, and you can like to see how, and knowing how she is like she's kind of connected to that demon ball in the head of her doll that her mom still has. Yeah. It kind of explains why she's able to she has some of these like clairvoyant experiences, which she probably won't have anymore because she's not connected anymore. And seeing and just kind of knowing what to expect and being able to listen a little closer, like that scene where Kiernan Shipka, the actress, she's playing like a Carrie Ann Camera, the one survivor.
Yeah,
and she's in the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking to her. That's the creepiest stuff. The way she's talking is just off enough. Like if you want me to kill you right here, like just that kind of thing. Just like it's just so creepy.
Right.
Just kind of being prepared for stuff. Because the first time you watch any movie, but especially this one, just because there's lots of creepy stuff, and like it's slow enough, but that you always expect something, and they do a really good job of like when they go into the barn to find the doll, the first doll that they find.
Mm-hmm.
It shows them walking into the barn, like going past the camera, and the camera kind of slowly zooms into the outside. I'm like, what the heck? What's gonna happen?
Oh yeah, I was immediately like looking, or when she's sitting at her desk and you can see like she's in focus, but she's also half the screen. So the other half of the screen is like the blurred door frame into like the kitchen.
Right.
I did not look at her the entire time.
Right.
I only looked at that door because I'm like, something is going to happen. Why are you framing it like this?
Yeah, and just like any other movie, when you see the second time through, you could like, instead of like focusing where they're trying to make you focus, you can kind of look around and see what else is going on.
Uh-huh.
There's little things like that. I
was slightly waffling between the two worlds because I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on. When they're in Longlegs' lair,
right?
And he's just on his bed reading a book or whatever that is, whatever he's doing, staring off into the abyss. And I was looking at other things in his room.
Oh, okay.
I was not looking at Nick at all. I was looking at other things in his room, trying to figure out what's up, what's going on. Because you're in, Buffalo Bill's lair there, and I'm trying not to put the lotion on my skin. So, this movie, for me, did not leave me wanting any more than I got. I thought that this movie was perfectly balanced.
Okay.
Like, I got enough of Harker's backstory, like the little nuggets that they dropped along the way,
Yep.
that by the end of the movie, I was satisfied with what they gave me.
Okay. Yeah. I
The only part that maybe and this is a huge spoiler, but
we have spoiled a lot of it already. So
yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to get to that in a second. Were there any? I have 5 moments right here, at least 5 from memory. 5 surprising moments. Were there any moments in the movie that were surprising? Like, for example, my first one on the list, in no particular order, is Harker's partner got shot in the head at the bebeginning of the movie. And that surprised the crap out of me because it was such a shocking moment.
Did not expect that.
That, like, because you slightly don't believe that she has this ability.
Right. You're like, are you sure?
Yeah. She has this hunch. Because you're grounded in the real world. This movie does play a little bit into the supernatural aspect. So the fact that she's kind of staring off at her partner during the briefing a little bit, and you're like, what the heck's going on here? Is there like tension, sexual tension? What's happening? And then he takes a very masculine role.
Right.
And he's like, hey, do you want to wait in the car while I go do this thing? And he goes off and fine. She waits in the car, but then she gets out and is like, hey, he's in this house. And he looks at her like, what? And you kind of side with him a little bit. But then when he goes, he's like, oh yeah, I'll just go up to the door. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, can I talk? I'm from the FBI. Have you seen this? Bang! And I was shocked.
Yeah.
So are there any other, like I said, I have 5 moments besides that one. Now 4. Are there any moments that shocked you or surprised you along the way in this movie?
Yeah, well, like when she's interrogating him and he smashes his face into the table. I was like,
holy smokes.
Heck.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's literally number 2 on the list. It's really the most shocking moment to me in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Is when he kills himself.
Yes.
I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. And also the when the mom shot the doll and the little black smoke came out of the doll.
Yeah, and also Harker.
And exactly. And then when I'm like, what the heck? Because it was the first time it really drove home any kind of a for sure supernatural connection. Because up until that point, it was kind of like a Silence of the Lambs thing, like Osgood Perkins apparently meant to do. And I heard somewhere that he actually made it. One of the reasons the director kind of made it, he wanted to make it very like procedural, investigative type of a drama at first, because that's what it is. It's so like up until some really scary stuff happens, it's pretty much a procedural crime drama.
Well, that's exactly what Silence of the Lambs is. It's not necessarily overtly scary. The scary aspect is the realistic nature of the crime that is being committed.
Correct. And
then you have on top of that when Hannibal like cuts off that face, and like you have there's periodic overt shocking moments in Silence of the Lambs.
But apparently he did that on purpose to structure it that way. Like he held off what I'm trying to say is he held off all of the supernatural stuff until like that moment to really kind of shock you a bit into thinking it's just a normal crime thing, like Silence of the Lambs, until that happens. You're like, wait, the rules have changed, sort of.
Right. Yeah, because you kind of still don't believe that there is satanic stuff that's going on.
Right, because he's like, Hail Satan, and you're like, okay, whatever. He's crazy, dude.
Right, you kind of wrap it you wrap it up in that. He's this wackadoo and whatever, right? But it's not necessarily real. And then when that happens, I think you're like, okay, well, what's up? What's really going on here? And because he left it until the end, it causes you to now there is the rewatch factor. Now
Yep.
you want to go back and dive deeper into it. And maybe some people don't. I very much do. Like I can't wait for this movie to come out. Shoot, I've honestly thought about just buying the movie and just owning it, because instead of just streaming it, because just to have the ability to watch it literally anytime I want to, because it is such a shockingly good movie.
It really is, yeah.
That I could very easily put this on a yearly rotation, just like Hereditary or Midsommar. Like I could put this on a yearly rotation.
Oh yeah,
and it was. But there, the thing that I was going to say earlier was was about Longlegs killing himself. The only aspect, because I said something about like this movie didn't leave me wanting any more. Like it was kind of perfectly balanced.
Uh-huh.
Part of me did want more Nick Cage in this movie, despite the fact that I thought he was in the movie in a perfect amount. It was because he was in the movie. He was in the movie so little, and they showcased him so heavily in the marketing material. If they had not showcased him so heavily in the marketing material, I probably wouldn't want him more in the movie.
Well, at first, the early stuff they didn't.
No,
they didn't have him at all.
Yeah,
and
but it was the fact that they kind of just teased it out there,
right?
And I'm also bypassing like all of the other, mumbo jumbo of the makeup and the blah 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 whatnot. But
I did find some interesting info about like his backstory.
Yes.
And
did you pick up on any of that in the movie?
That he was supposed to be like a glam rocker who had bad, like botched plastic surgery and all that kind of stuff.
I did not pick up on it. And I've only seen it once, but I didn't pick up on any of that.
I didn't pick up on it the first time, and the second time after hearing that, I was like, "That's why he's singing so weird." Like in the opening,
I just thought it was Nick Cage being Nick Cage, dude.
Like, well, he's singing like he's like in the prologue when the mom's there. She said,
"Oh my gosh,
can you get off my property?" or whatever, and he starts singing like randomly, screaming. That song
creeped me out.
Right? Oh, the singing.
Yeah,
and it made more sense because every once in a while I was like looking at his makeup. I'm like, did they botch the makeup? No. Yeah, they botched the plastic surgery because of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, so I actually wrote down in my notes, we need to talk about Nick Cage's makeup because I thought it could be done better. I thought his makeup was bad. Not just I'm talking about the prosthetics and whatnot.
Right.
The 2 hours worth of prosthetics that he went through every day. Like, because I'm like, that's bad. For as big of a movie as this is, that's not great prosthetics. So then I watched this video on YouTube and it talks about who is Longlegs.
Right.
And apparently he is this glam rocker and he went through all of these surgeries, and this is why he looks basically now like Mickey Rourke. Like, this is why. And he wears white makeup to hide some of the botched surgeryness.
Yeah.
But, and then I immediately took it on my nose. I'm like, oh, well, this is why it looks quote unquote so bad.
But they don't say that in the movie.
It's meant to do that. But also, I'm very curious as to, maybe it's in interviews and stuff like that, because I don't remember.
I wonder if it's in the backstory stuff on the website.
Maybe it is, because
there's a lot of stuff on the website.
Yeah, I try to stay away from all of that kind of stuff because I don't entirely want it to ruin any of the stuff. Plus, it's also somewhat exhausting to kind of like dive into all of that stuff. The marketing was fantastic. It was, I think, up to this point, one of the best memorable marketing tactics was smile. Apparently, The Matrix had some really stellar marketing when I was kind of doing some reading online. of just memorable marketing tactics. I do vividly remember the Blair Witch Project having really, really stellar marketing.
Yeah.
But I don't entirely remember The Matrix, but I do remember Smile, because there are like regular normal news reporters and then freaking people smiling in the background.
Yeah.
Just like one girl smiling in the background, or they're at a baseball game and they're, showing, from behind the pitcher up into the batter, and there, right on camera, right in the front row behind the net, is some person with like the word "smile" on her shirt, and she's just smiling at the camera. And I'm like, that is genius marketing. This is also the intricacies of it. Even though I didn't participate, the intricacies of this marketing are Oscar worthy to me. That needs to be an Oscar category. Even though not a whole lot of people actually do that kind of stuff, but still, I think it's at least award-winning marketing, because
it's great. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. My third. Partner got shot in the beginning. Longlegs killed himself. That was wild. He literally broke his nose off of his face. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hard to watch, but also I didn't want to look away.
Yeah.
Also, slightly didn't believe that he was dead, even though
same.
All of his blood's pouring out of his face.
Yep.
Also, didn't want him to die, because I'm like, holy cow, you killed yourself. What?
Right.
I thought you were going to be in this whole movie, but apparently you're not.
Well, and it made more sense, though. Like I was saying the second time around, because I'm like, because he says like that, he's like, you're right. She said, you're going to be here. You're done. You're finished. You've been here forever. He's like, you're right. I am done. It's like,
yeah, he served the devil.
Like, to see that realization come over his face.
Yeah, I didn't. I need to rewatch it. I might go to the movie again. I might just leave this podcast right now and just go to the movie right now. Holy cow! Then my third one was the mom was in it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Shocked the crap out of me. I was, even though she was in the marketing. That's the crazy part. Is like, I didn't pick that up. It seems.
I mean, so her mom's in the marketing. So big deal.
Nope. It makes. It's hindsight.
No, but I mean beforehand. Yeah, but beforehand, you're like, it's the mom. Of course, she's gonna have a mom in the story. Big deal. But so I didn't suspect anything. I'm agreeing with you. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, the reason she was in the marketing was because of her high role in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the movie, she did not play a high role. She was the one who called her daughter to check on her every now and then and ask her if she's done her prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Longlegs was in the basement, my fourth one.
Oh, yeah.
Surprising moment. Did not pick it up. But the seeds were planted along the way, especially that giant seed of when they're about to go interview him. And she's told, Harker's told, he's right under your feet. Like, as soon as we found out, as soon as she got knocked out by her mom or whatever happened there, because her dog got shot, maybe she just passed out. As soon as she woke up in the basement, it's because it's a tight shot on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately was like, that's Longlegs' bed. Oh. What? It's a red light. That's Longlegs' room. Yeah. And then the camera kind of flips upside down and does the thing that you hate. And
I love to hate.
By the way, every time a movie does that, I think of you, because I'm like, Steve is going to hate this.
I love to hate it.
But yeah, the fact that it was in the basement of her childhood home the entire time, which means that like Longlegs did not leave, which makes sense. He kidnapped her mom and basically just
moved in.
Yeah. And then
it makes all the discussion about the man down the stairs. It's him as well.
All of it connected.
Not just Satan, but him as well.
Exactly. The last one was the supernatural aspects of the movie. I thought that they did a great job with figuring out. I'm still very curious about the ball. I'm not too sure in that culture what that specifically means, or why
I don't
it's
know.
necessary, or how it connects. Is it the thing that holds their soul, or I need to dive into that a little bit deeper?
Is it, or like the like Horcruxes, like in Harry Potter, like a piece of Longlegs?
That's what I'm talking about. Like it's because he talks about how he's basically in everyone.
Right.
So is that yeah,
He's
I don't
everywhere.
know. So the video that I watched, I wanted to shout this guy out.
Yep.
The video that I watched was from a YouTuber called Mad Morph, one word, Mad Morph Movie Club.
Okay.
The video is titled Longlegs Ending Explained 10 Things You Didn't Know. I tried to write them down despite the fact that I think there's only 9 things.
Okay.
First off was the cuckoo. He talks about the cuckoo.
Okay, yeah. I bet that's like a crime, is like like squatting in someone else's house or something.
Which is basically what he did.
He did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's basically what he did. He talks about the dolls. He talks about the brains of the dolls, which I'm still a little fuzzy on that. He talked about the meaning behind the movie, the ending of the movie. He talked about the music and the hidden messages. Why is it called Longlegs? What is Longlegs' goal, and who is Longlegs? Again, I only counted 9, despite the fact that I don't know where the 10th thing is. Maybe I just counted wrong, or missed something. But anyway, it's a great video. I'm sure that there are other videos. It was just the first and only one that I really watched. Yeah, this was a great movie.
I think I saw this video too. I think it has some of the backstory stuff in it.
In the very beginning of the movie, he breaks down the entire movie.
Okay.
And then he goes into
this is a different one. I haven't seen this. Yeah.
Kind of 10 things. And yeah, I thought it was interesting to dive into the cuckoo of like, because he's like, I don't really hear anybody talking about this, but cuckooing is based on the cuckoo bird.
Yep.
That steals, like, goes into birds' nests, shoves their eggs out of the nest, and pretends to be a baby bird, and is basically fed by the other birds that are there. And cuckooing is a crime wherein you pretty much commandeer somebody's life or house or whatever, and I don't know, you just basically make them take care of you and whatnot. And it is a crime. And so that's not only what Satan did, but with these dolls, but it's also what Longlegs did,
right,
with the Harker family. And
an interesting addition to that was I saw an interview with Nicolas Cage, who said that he got the cuckoo thing came from, it was like an ad lib thing. That's what his mom used to say, like, cuckoo, like, come over here, like, to get your attention. And his mom had powdery white makeup, and they integrated that into the show, into the movie.
And what I'm saying is, like, looking at that from the lens of your childhood, you're like, oh, that's sweet. Looking at it from the lens of Longlegs,
oh, absolutely,
that's the creepiest thing a parent could do. What are we doing?
He pulled a lot of. He said he pulled the hand gestures that he did, the sounds he made, the cuckoo thing, all from his mom. I'm like, dude, your mom must have been horrified.
Holy, that's what I'm saying. Looking at it from the standpoint of, like, she's a normal mom, you're like, oh, well, that's sweet. But looking at it from the fact that he used that as a serial killer, Satan worshiping demon person.
He never said she was sweet.
Listen,
he kind of gave the impression that there's reasons that he got some things from her.
Dude, that's creepy.
Not that his mom was a serial killer, but
that's super creepy.
But yeah, it's and how he said that he wanted to make the character purposely kind of androgynous.
Yeah,
kind of like a lot of the glam rocker guys were.
Yeah, David Bowie and all
super long hair. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of just little things within this movie, do you have that video that I sent you?
Yeah.
This is from the director. I saw this on TikTok this morning. It's from the director, and it helps you understand like the little intricacies that went into making a movie like this. So this is the director.
Okay. It's about a minute long.
Yeah.
There's a bit in the script where Lee Harker, played by Micah Monroe, goes to her mom's house, and her mom is a hoarder and has kept everything for all time. And I was like, what if she kept all of Lee's teeth and hair and fingernails? The prop makers on Longlegs, and they were like, yeah, that's great. So we went on Christmas vacation, and we came back, and they had this thing which they called the Bits box. And the Bits box is this wooden box that had little bags of teeth, little bags of hair, little bags of fingernails. They'd gotten all their friends and family to grow their fingernails out over the break, and then they cut all their friends and family's fingernails. They stored them all in these individual bags. They went and bought false teeth. They cut hair from their friends, and they put it all together, and they presented it to me. And for me, it was like such a good time. Right? Like, that's just like fun, weird shit. You know, you're asking your dad to like not trim his fingernails because you're going to put them in a movie. Like, what insane shit is that? There were a few times when one of my editors was like, we got to take that out. I was like, over my dead body. Like, truly over my dead body, you're going to take that out. It's too much of a good time in this movie. It says too much about the world, and it was made too lovingly.
Yeah.
Strange concept of good time.
Uh-huh. So there are layers to what he just said, because yeah, you're like, there is a beauty in the intricacies of this. So he pitches out this idea, and they're like, oh yeah. And one of the places that their mind goes is, we're going to be around all of our family. So let's talk to them about this stuff. And it works. It's a small thing in the movie, and it's kind of in a dark room, and you're not necessarily, it's a throwaway kind of thing, but it adds, knowing that adds a layer to the movie that I don't think, it just makes it a little bit more special. And I understand why he says that, like, there's over my dead body, because yeah, but that exists in the world now.
Right.
That exists in some sort of warehouse now. That is in some sort of crate next to the Ark of the Covenant in some sort of Warner Brothers thing. Right? Like, you know, along with Longlegs' wig and wardrobe is the prop master's family's nails and hair and fake teeth. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, this movie was great. This movie was great.
It's good stuff.
Oh, but lady, your house was even whiter when I came to visit.
January 13th, 1974, right?
And then my house number 8 was so white, whiter than a fish's throat, whiter than tits. I knew then that the work we were doing was immaculate.
Dude, he's so creepy.
He's so good.
And the what they did with the slowly showing us his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like little tiny glimpses of it here and there, but until that moment with the bit I just played, when he is there, like in the interrogation room, you don't really see who, but it's like so freaking creepy.
Yeah.
So
it is creepy. Yeah.
Really, and I have to say that honestly, one of the things that unsettled me the most, strangely, was this scene here. I'll play a little clip of it from when they're interviewing the single survivor, played by Kiernan Shipka.
Okay.
Who this actress is just amazing. She's just like the subtle things she does and the way she says the stuff is just so creepy. And just like the beatific look on her face the whole time.
You had a visitor yesterday. Can you describe him for me? Gosh, I don't ever want to forget him. I was just waiting on him to come and get me. To come and tells me something's to do for him. Or even better, to do something for the man down the stairs. And boy, I just want to do whatever so he says me to do. Like if he told me to take a jumpy out a window, I'd surely do. Just happy as peaches to watch the ground as it come up to meet me. Or if he told me to kill you right here in this room with my bare hand, I'd surely do. Just happy as peaches to watch your heavy heart go pop, pop, and your eyes is to go all to blood.
There's more to it, but
Dude,
cow.
she pooped her pants. At the end of the day, like that's the creepiest thing to say to somebody. Just watch your little heavy heart go pop, pop. Oh, dude. Oh, shivers, man.
Well, and then later she does throw herself out of the window.
Well, yes.
Here later, and
Yeah.
it's like, holy crap! It's not just like that she's crazy, but she's also being controlled.
Right.
And I was just thinking also the second time I watched it that they had her doll, the doll of her, in the that's what they found in the barn.
Yeah.
And if they had taken the thing out of the ball and cracked it open and let the spirit out of it, she would have been okay.
Yeah. Well, she was asleep until they said that she was asleep until they found the doll. Then she came out of her catatonic state.
Right. Because she wasn't in the black box anymore. But had they broken the ball open...
Well, they did.
No, they didn't.
They said they cut the ball open.
I thought they said there was nothing. She said, "Can you open it up?" He's like, "Well, we could probably cut it open, but there's nothing in there."
It was I think I remember it being a small line. They're having a conversation. Harker and Blair Underwood or whatever his name is. They're having a conversation in his office, and he says, "Like we cut it open. There's nothing in it."
Oh,
I think it has to be destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So that's I think I don't know that for sure.
You have to watch it a third and fourth time, Zach.
I know, man. We're gonna have to figure it out. That's why I love this movie, is because you can just
layers.
There's so many layers to this movie. Yeah. Wow. We've been talking about it forever. We should probably move on to the actual heart of this podcast and talk about our actual movie.
Well, hey, this is a new movie we saw. It's a thing unseen, so
It technically is. We could just drop I'm fine if we just want to drop right here and be like, yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about Longlegs for the rest of, and then we'll bring up Possessor and An American Werewolf in London next week. But also, if you don't want to do that, I'm fine with that too. I did finish Possessor.
You did? Nice.
I did. I have not finished Sissy. I did not watch.
Okay.
The amount of movies that I am currently watching is dwindling down. Like I don't think I think I only watched 2 movies and one and the finale of The Boys. Like since our last recording.
Well, let's tell me what you watched, and then I'm fine with kind of shutting it down there.
Yeah, so The Boys.
We've talked so long about other stuff.
Yeah, the 3 things that I watched: The Boys season 4 finale, Longlegs, and Possessor. That's all I've seen this week. Other than like a couple episodes of The Office, The Golden Girls, New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like just regular normal Monday Night Raw, just regular normal stuff.
A few news reports that you didn't want to see.
Well, of course, there's always news reports that I don't want to see, but I try to drown those out with other silly TikToks.
When Longlegs is more comforting than the actual news.
Listen, that might be the most truth statement. Yeah.
Why do you watch so much horror, Steve? Because it's happier than the news.
Because it's happier than what's really going on. Holy cow. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes, I
Longlegs was the best thing that I watched all week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Possessor was pretty good. I'll be honest with you. Possessor was pretty good. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next time. Longlegs, though, it deserves awards. This was, it's not the scariest movie of the decade. I don't necessarily know who gave it that moniker.
Some dude in marketing.
But that's the thing, is that I've been trying to find it. I've been trying to find who said it. Is it marketing, or is it I mean, all of it's really marketing at the end of the day. They're paying all of
Tim-
those New York
yeah.
Times people to say whatever they're saying
Yeah.
about these movies. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that was it Neon's marketing, or was it someone like the New York Times or somebody who got a screener and wrote in and said that this
Yeah.
was, because I started to look at, just before the podcast, I started to look at the movies of the last decade. Like I literally went on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah.
Went back to like a list of horror movies from like starting in 2014. Creep came out in 2014, and Creep was way more scary than this one. This one was unsettling, but it was so brilliant. I don't know how to say this. Part of me doesn't think that this movie was all that scarier or all that scary. The axe to the head in Creep, way scarier than this movie, because this movie that could really happen.
Right.
The catfishing somebody like that, like, I don't know, the way that they did the movie Creep was, but even Annabelle was way scarier than this movie. And Annabelle came out in the last 10 years.
I feel like it's such, so comparing this to Silence of the Lambs was touted as a thriller at the time, and I think that's one reason it got like Academy Awards and stuff, because if you call a thing a horror, you're not going to get any awards, right?
Right.
But
which is so
silly. It was, to me, it was equally as scary as Silence of the Lambs, to be honest. I don't think it was scarier. It was more unsettling in some ways. Yeah. Because the concept of a dad, like as a dad, or as a person who has a dad or a parent in general, like both of her parents, well, I guess her dad's never part of the situation. Anyway, in the movie, you've got the dad who goes crazy and kills everybody in the family.
Right.
On the other side, you have her mom who sacrifices everything, including her own soul, for her daughter.
Right.
But in a very, very dark way. You know?
Yeah.
So you got this whole parent thing going on, and that's frightening. Depending on your relationship with your parents, I mean, the dad being crazy and killing everybody maybe just goes right along with, you know, people's experiences, or doesn't, you know. So
yeah.
No, I mean not literal.
I was gonna say, like, so every dad's either a serial killer or isn't. Like, what?
No, I mean like if your dad is a horrible person, then you're like that tracks.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah,
yeah. So
it doesn't track like that for me, but also we don't have to get into my daddy issues. But
I wasn't trying to, but
no, I know
it's scary in the same way to me as Silence of the Lambs, because you've got some murders going on, you don't know what's going on, and the person, you find out who's doing it, and they're crazy and like messed up. And I think one reason that serial killers and the reason that serial killers entice us so much, I think one of the reasons anyway, is that they're so unpredictable.
Yeah.
To us, to them, that what they're doing just probably makes sense, but to us, it's like, how can anybody be that way? It's fascinating to us and unsettling.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of a deal, and it has very much of a serial killer type vibe as like the House of Jack built, or Silence of the Lambs, or Maniac, or a lot of these other ones. So I agree. It was not the scariest movie in the past decade, but it was one of the best scary movies in the past decade for sure.
Oh, definitely.
So well done.
I said this in my, so I had just watched Possessor, which is a Neon movie. Yeah. That was fantastic. Spoiler alert, I enjoyed it.
Nice.
And then I went to watch Longlegs, which was another Neon movie. I think there was another Neon movie in the trailers called Cuckoo.
Yes, that looks good.
which looks great.
Yep.
That also had a woodsy monster.
I couldn't quite tell. There's
Yeah,
something going
that's
on.
the point. Is the
Right.
face looks distorted enough for me to go, and the vibe really was just like, you're here because we need to like feed these people or whatever the case is. It was very, I don't know. It drew me in enough, but it feels like, and I said this in my review of Longlegs, it feels like Neon is kind of having a moment where they are picking up it makes me want to go back and look at their other catalog. What other Neon movies are, could I have another A24? So besides A24, could I have another studio that's like this? I think Neon actually picked up. Have you heard of Chris Struckland? I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. So Chris is a YouTuber who reviews movies. He's done it for like 10 years. He is making his own horror movie or has been trying to make his own horror movie.
Yes,
it's called like Shelby Oaks or Shady Oaks or something like that.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it got picked, like Mike Flanagan is a producer. He put it on Kickstarter to try to raise money. But Mike Flanagan it has picked up steam. I think Neon actually is the studio that is going to be doing the distribution.
Oh, wow.
And, but Mike Flanagan is a producer. It's really picked up some steam, but Neon has been in 2024. Neon has had some really great movies that come out or are going to be having some really great movies that are coming out. And I don't also know what Neon has made in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
looking that up.
Yeah, I need to. I don't know if I'm saying that because I don't know if I've seen another Neon movie. I probably have, but
so Infinity Pool.
I will not watch that one. It's too weird. It's too creepy. I don't have time for it. It's mainly too weird. It's too weird. I don't want to watch it. Also, you told me not to watch it too because you were like, I watched it. It's kind of dumb. Don't do that. I'm like, all right.
It follows.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, it lives inside.
Is Neon doing They Follow?
Yep.
Well, okay, great. Yep. That would make sense. And it is the sequel.
They've done a lot of stuff. Assassination Nation. Is that new yet? Is it out?
I don't have a clue what that movie is.
Bad Hair. I kind of want to watch this one.
Bad Hair?
It's a movie about like it's when we get hair extensions or something, and it's like possessed hair or something.
Oh, we gotta watch that. Come on.
It's on Hulu. Let's see, they also did Colossal, Crimes of the Future. Ugh.
Crimes of the Future.
Yeah, that's the one where that's
David Cronenberg, isn't it?
Yes. Ennis Men, which I haven't watched yet. ENYS. I've heard that's just weird. Let's see what else. It Lives Inside.
I've wanted to watch It Lives Inside.
Handling the Undead. Oh, Immaculate.
No.
Immaculate's them.
Dude, they made Self-Reliance. I need to watch that one too.
Yeah. Hey, they made Longlegs.
Dude, did you just say Longlegs?
The Lodge. Have you seen The Lodge?
The Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for it. I need to see the poster. They did Pig. Oh, they did Titan. Stupid.
Oh, they did? They did Parasite. Pig with, what's his face? Possessor. Good grief, they did a lot of stuff.
Beach Bum. I need to watch a lot of their...
Triangle of Sadness.
I've heard of this. I've not seen it. I, Tonya. Ingrid Goes West.
Oh, Palm Springs. That's a funny one. Have you seen that one?
Palm Springs. No, I've not. You told me to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Dude. That's one of the best time loopy movies I've ever seen. It's great.
I mean, Groundhog Day does exist, so
it's better than Groundhog Day.
What?
It's not as, Groundhog Day was like original, but
how absolute dare you?
It's basically the same movie. Well, people could listen to us scroll on the website for all day long.
I just realized that's exactly what we're doing. We've lost all of our audience by this point. If you're sticking around, we'll send you a sticker. You know what I mean? We have 1 million of them because Steve keeps ordering from the absolutely racist organization.
Hey, I'm not anymore. I just made 2 orders,
It's fine. I've also ordered from the racist organization. And I don't care that I'm saying that. I genuinely don't care. You're a part of the problem and you need to go away. Boom, roasted. You can cut that out also.
Okay. Boom, roasted.
I went too hard in the paint and I feel like I kind of ruined the vibe we were going for. Because I'm like, oh yeah, let's not get political. But then I'm like, screw you guys. I want to start my own sticker company and take you guys out. Like,
Well, they got merch on the Neon website.
do they have a Marcel?
Wrong studio, buddy.
Marcel's downstairs in my backpack, but the zipper's open so he can breathe. Why? Don't send me this. I don't want Longlegs merch. Also, how creepy is that? How creepy is that red shirt? Can you imagine me walking into work with this red shirt and Nick Cage's eyes on it? They would immediately tell me to go home.
Wow.
Also, I feel like if I opened the box and I showed my wife that, she'd be like, "No." I was fine with Steve sending you that "Live Deliciously" sticker, but no, we can't do this.
Well, I don't want to cause problems with your wife.
Here's a conspiracy theory question for you. I wanted to ask you this, and I'm sorry. We need to end the episode.
It's fine.
We're getting a lot of demon possession / satanic movies.
Oh, in general.
In 2024,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like we're getting Russell Crowe's. I don't know if that was 2024. What was that movie called?
Felt like it was a year long.
The Pope's colonoscopy. So we have that.
Right.
Then the Pope's colonoscopy 2, the catheter, and then no, is that not what it's called? I think it's just called The Exorcist or The Exorcism.
Okay.
Right,
but they're not connected, but they're also connected. So
they're not connected, but everyone knows they're connected. Like they're not fooling us at all.
No,
we got the Omen prequel, the first Omen. We got Immaculate. We got this one. They're very satanic heavy, and part of me when I was listening to interviews and whatnot and about Longlegs, and they're leaning heavily into the satanic aspect of the satanic culture, right? They're talking about playing music backwards. They're talking about sending subliminal messages through the movie, all of this stuff. And so my brain went, is there what are they doing to us? Are they freaking trying to possess us? Late Night with the Devil was another one where they're leaning heavily into these aspects. And it just made me wonder. Maybe I'm connecting dots. And I'm wrapping it in my conspiracy theory brain. It just made me curious about, we're getting a lot of satanic heavy movies. And I'm realizing maybe we've always had that. Or at least
but just now you're doing a podcast.
But now I'm very into it, and I'm very much watching these movies, and part of me is a little scared, and I'm just a little bit. Also, I love the fact that I start talking like that and it makes you uncomfortable. I want you to know that when you wince a little bit, I get so much joy out of that. I go, oh, my little tummy, and you're like, oh God. It makes
it cracks me up.
That's not the initial look on your face. The initial look on your face is that you're 37, dude. Quit being a friggin' baby. Like, yeah, it also makes me think you don't want to do a podcast with me anymore, but that's my insecurities talking.
Well, I don't, but
All right, fantastic, great. All right, screw you too, dude. Bye.
So if I can respond, what do I always say?
I don't know what you always
Follow
say.
the money.
Follow the money. So there's money and demonism. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're going to make movies that they have focus groups the heck out of. Like, what's going to make us the most cash? Well, people seem to be digging this demon crap, so let's give them more of that.
But the question is,
shovel it out of the manure right into their mouths.
Do you think that there's something more to it?
No,
because you could say follow the money, but are they trying to cast a spell on us? Is the question?
No,
is freaking the lizard people trying to kill us?
No. If they're trying to do that, they would have somebody like Donald Trump running for president. You know.
All right. Well, this has been the 30th episode of. Thank you for listening. This has been the 30th episode of Horrors Yet Unseen. This is the final episode because
wish I could have gone longer.
Oh gosh, yeah, wish we could have gone longer, but Steve decided to. Okay, no one's now gonna listen.
We don't want them anyway.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to smash that like button because we're not gonna be posting anymore.
We just lost half of the audience. That's okay.
Exactly. We went from our 21 followers down to 11.
The other half is not smart enough to pay attention. So,
oh my gosh! Take that, Miles! Freaking 3 times, dude. I don't know. Just unnecessary shade at a dude I've never met in my life.
Miles is a nice guy.
He might be a nice guy. That's fine. He listens to it like a psychopath. Like,
can you be a nice guy and a psychopath at the same time? I think you can.
Listen, if a tree falls in a forest, okay, this is the same kind of question. I don't know. Can you be? Can you be Jeffrey Dahmer and also a nice person? Miles, answer me that. I don't know. Well, again, I'm just throwing shade at Miles. He didn't hear it. He's listening to this podcast at 3 times speed.
I haven't personally checked Miles's basement, so I don't know if anything's buried down there. But or if there's a man with botched plastic surgery building dolls. I don't know what's in his basement. Oh, I just realized something, Zach.
Oh my gosh, this podcast is never going to end.
I'm in my basement right now. I am the man down the stairs.
You're the man down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
I've said that since day one. You're just now realizing this? We've known each other for like 3 years now. You're just now realizing this? Yeah, the movie Longlegs was based on you.
Oh, is it? I'm not a tall person, Zach.
I know.
I have very short legs.
Yeah.
I'm like a tank. I'm like 5'5".
You're like a tank. Okay. Freaking, that's the T talking right there. Do you?
No. I have a very low center of gravity. You know, when I played rugby.
You played rugby?
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
we're way off topic at this point. This is a movie podcast, and we're talking about you playing.
I told you about how I was the hooker.
Excuse me now. I knew that. I've always known that you were a hooker. I've always known that.
Now, let's not,
I'm talking about whatever you're talking about.
So in rugby, there's a position called hooker. And I was the hooker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You were the hooker for the team.
I was the team's hooker, yes.
You
well, I was the first string hooker. If I hurt myself, then they'd bring somebody else in, finish the job.
Oh, good gravy.
But I'm short, but I'm strong. So
I feel uncomfortable.
But I'm not long legs, so you can't say that it's long. I'm the prequel, short legs.
Yeah. Okay.
My son, Noah has very long legs. He's like 5'11". I don't know how that happened. Anyway, which one am I? What are we talking about?
You're tiny legs.
What's this podcast about?
This podcast was about us reviewing movies, and we're talking about you playing rugby and being a hooker, bro. I don't know what we're talking
about. Look it up.
Yeah, you can find Steve online. You can find Steve's hooker page online.
Oh, no.
No?
Okay.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to leave.
Okay. Bye, Zach.
Okay, bye. All right, listeners, that's a wrap for another episode of Horrors Yet Unseen. Thanks for joining us.
And we'd love for you to become part of the conversation. Just drop us a voicemail at 1-216-202-5495 or email us at horrorsyetonunseen @gmail.com. And keep up with the latest by following us on Instagram. That handle is @HorrorsYetUnseenPod. We'd also appreciate it if you like and review our show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time.